Guys, I'll give you a quick background of how we met. I went for an event to Chennai, and Akshay was there too. And that's where we exchanged contacts. And since then, I've been following this guy. He's very hardworking, um, doing brilliantly well with the clients, taking a lot of one-on-one coachings globally. I would say he has clients across the globe. He has clients in Dubai, UK, the US, and many more. So, welcome Akshay to our live. It is so nice to have you here, and thank you for coming. I would just want you to give us a quick brief about yourself.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sunit. Before we get started, lots of respect to all the females out there. It's not easy to be there, and so where I play a major part or small, tiny part to strengthen you guys out there. So that's my mission as well. And myself, Aksharam, and have been into a fitness industry. So initially I was an engineer, and then transitioned from there to an fitness coach, and I've been doing this since past 3 years.
Wow.
So far, I have worked with 200 plus individuals. So
Wow.
I help them to strengthen their day-to-day life activities and making them females to be more independent, to be frank, and do all the chores easily. So that's been a motive behind what I'm doing. And yeah, it's going great.
That's outstanding. So you're an engineer turned strength coach. Wow, that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
really great. Okay, Akshay, why did you just choose to be strength coach for women? I know that you have male clients too. I've seen that on your store. But why specifically for women? Is there a reason behind that?
Yes, there is a great reason behind that. Initially, when I started, I have seen that many people. So it's a burning desire behind me also. When I started my personal fitness journey, I have seen many females, if they wanted to lose weight or get started to thinking about weight, their only goal is to, there is a little barrier to, they need to come to the gym to work out. And even though they come to the gym and they just do treadmill or just cardio stuffs, and they won't directly hit weights. Nowadays it's changing, but still there are many females out there, they don't they would get fear of exercising directly. I would may become bulky in that range. So I thought that we need to educate more people, and if they more than men's, females need strength training. So when we speak about hormones also, the dominating hormone of female is estrogen. So when you start dropping on estrogen levels, you lose lot of muscle mass. So it's much more needed for females, and the main urge is to make them more stronger. If you personally you become strong, entire family would be stronger. Yeah, that's the driving force behind helping more females. And initially when I started working, out of 10, 7 to 6 to 7 were females. So I got passionate about helping them more. So that's it. So I do help men's also, but the ratio, if you see, 70 30 80, like that.
Okay. And you just mentioned how females think that if they lift weight, they'll get bulky. So to my personal experience, very recently, I had some medical crisis in my family, and I gained a lot of fat. And before that, I was already gymming for a good long time, right? So I realized that I was looking more bulky. So was it a mixture of fat and muscle together, or was it not bulk at all, or was it just fat? Like, I want to understand how is it that when a fitness coach like you says that you do not get bulky, but the women, they feel that they look bulky. What's exactly the difference in the two? Being bulky,
so the
and look
difference, so they might think that you would become, females would particularly become bulky in the sense of they might carry more muscles. So it's not that easy to carry on muscles, to build muscles evenly. Even though if you work out, it would take, like I have many my friends, like colleagues, those who are training from years together, like 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, strength training, particularly on consistent basis. So they won't gain that much of muscles. And even though if you gain that muscles, there will be a different ways to gain it. Like that goes into a bodybuilding on that stuff. Like they need to take some oral steroids or anabolics to look like that. So we each and every time when we pick a strength training, so immediate image would go towards that zone when females think about it. And the other part of the question is, so how you can differentiate that fat looking bulky in the sense. So there is a many tests which we can run. Like there is a DEXA scan, so which gives the exact percentage of how much fat you are carrying, how much muscle you are carrying, and your bone weight and everything. It gives you a complete data. So overall, your ideal body composition matters a lot. So how much fat versus muscle you are carrying. For example, you might weigh around 60 kgs by looking. So there is a particular defined shapes for muscles and fat. So fat doesn't have a shape; it grows however it wants. Like there is no particular shape. But muscles, it has a particular shape. So when you carry good muscle mass, you won't look that bulky enough. That mindset behind you looking like a bodybuilder has to change. So I respect bodybuilding and everything out there, but it requires hell lot of dedication. So you need to be an athlete mindset on that area.
Right, right. And muscle, building muscle also cuts fat. Is that true?
No, no, actually not. Like it goes on and on. So building muscle, it takes time. For example, we can consider someone who is getting started now, they have a zero experience. In 1 year, they might gain around 2 to 3 kgs or 5 kgs of good lean muscle mass. If they are still stay under the same weight, 60 kgs only, but they look more defined compared to what they are. When you start strength training, you will gain muscles and you are eating right amount of proteins and fats and carbs. So you will see that change, transition, that your fat percentage goes down and your muscle mass slightly increases. You look more defined.
Okay, I have so many questions for you. So when you
Yeah.
say so when you say right amount of protein and carbs, so I would categorize that as macros and micros, right? Fats, carbs, and proteins are macros. Minerals and vitamins are micros, right?
Micro.
Am I right?
Right.
Yes. So is it important for each individual to eat according to their macros and micros to the last bit, or is there a particular diet that as an individual we can have in a day-to-day basis, that because as an individual it's very hard for us to count our macros and micros if we are not from this field? How we do that?
Yeah, actually, we don't need to worry that much. So there is two way looking into it. So either way has a good difference and it has more value, I can say. When you start counting your macros on daily, day-to-day basis, so it is a good way that you look more defined and precise, and you maintain a very good physique. It's an athlete level of work ethic to measure everything and then eat, right? So for a working professional who is super busy and they don't want to do that, on that area I would take care of them with just a meal plates, like what they are eating. They need to look into their food and see how much amount of protein in that. So I stress more on protein because I have coached so many people that we are not eating enough protein on daily basis. So even if you see the entire typical south side or north side diet, so what they daily consume, there is very less protein intake in their meals. So my first goal is add protein slowly on each day. Like in a week one, we would do at least 40-50 grams based upon their body weight and how much they need, the goals and everything. I try to incorporate that protein inside their meal first. And then we can think about macros, and according to their goals we can adjust it. The main goal for me is like adding more protein and incorporating good fats is also very important for their hormonal health. So I try to put in good fats and include protein, and the rest of the things it falls into the place. That's how I see it. And on the other side, when you want to calculate exact macros,
Yeah.
there is a calculator called TDEE calculator. You can just go inside of Google and type TDEE, and you put your all the details over there, and you'll get a maintenance calories from there. And then you can start experimenting around it. But I personally believe, to be frank, I also don't count much calories. So I measure foods here and there, but I also don't count because it won't be exact.
Right. Right. See, I've seen your plate. I think you go by the proportion on the plate. I think so. I've seen your stories. I think you go by the portion on the plate. 1/4 of this should be carbs, and half of it should be protein. Is it something like that?
No, no, no. Actually, it's
No.
not like half of them protein and carbs and fibers. It's just like, for example, an individual has a 60 kgs of body overall body weight. We calculate their lean body mass. So there is a formula to calculate that. We need to multiply their fat percentage in kgs and into total body weight. We'll get a lean body mass. Let's say like for something like 45 kgs, and we multiply that. If the individual is just starting it out, we do 1.5. And if someone who is good advanced, they need more protein based upon their requirement, we do it 2, like that. So it would be somewhere 80 to 90 grams of protein, so that's our target. But for someone who not used to eat 90 grams of protein in a day, it would be hard to start with. So we can go light on week 1, and then week 2 we can increase, and then we keep that same amount of protein in entire day. Like if there is a 90 grams, we can split it into 3 meals, 30, 30, 30, like that. Your body also need to adapt to it. Something which has not adapted, suddenly we are changing, everything goes for a toss. So we need to strategize everything. To be on frank on one question, so we need to worry about how much protein you are eating, because that is what is missing
Got
link.
it. Got it. Got it. Got
Yeah.
it. See, what about what is your take on the acidity and the bloating? People are facing these days. And even with protein, what I've seen is once you start introducing a lot of protein in your diet, which is 1 gram per body weight or 1.5 grams per body weight, you start feeling a lot of acidity and bloating in your body. So with protein or maybe in a normal regular diet, how should one cater to acidity and bloating?
Yeah, there are two ways to say this. Number one, what protein sources you are sticking with, and if you are buying protein, either that protein is genuine. Now you might know about, there is a lot of adulteration going on in the industry, so there is no genuinity. So first, my preference would be, there are few brands which I trust, which I personally use also, and I recommend them to use that. Apart from that, that is secondary option for me. Supplementing is secondary option. So mine, the first goal is, the question you asked for that, it would be the quality of protein which you consume. That matters a lot. Even protein shake you are considering, from where it is coming, and how much composition they are using. Everything matters. And second one, for everyone it won't be same. For someone eggs would be okay. For me it's okay. For someone who don't eat eggs, for them we need to find other sources like paneer, or if they are non-vegetarian we can go for meat. In that way, for everyone it differs. Acidity, it's not only about protein. We need to see, apart from protein, what they are eating throughout the day. And the best practice which I include for my clients and I do for myself itself, like just stop eating, like drinks water, more water, and give a break for your entire system for, let's say, like 18 hours or 15 hours. And then we can introduce easy digesting foods, then add on protein from there. So the bloating, something which happens in different ways for different people. We can't say exactly it happened due to this food, that food would be easy going with me, for someone it would be not. The best example is eggs. Right. So not everyone can suit, but eggs is something, superfood we can include in diet.
Right, right. And what is your take on small frequent meals, or as per Ayurveda it is said that you should have 2 meals in a day and give your body a good rest between. So, which school of thought should one go with? Is it different for different people, or is it something that's written in stone? Small, frequent meals, 6 meals in a day, or 2 meals in a day? What is it?
Yeah, so I believe that you should eat according to your hunger. So whenever you feel hunger, that is your leptin hormone and satiety hormone. Ghrelin and leptin are the hunger and satiety hormone. So we need to let them do the work. So you feel hungry, you eat the food, and then again you wait for again you feel hunger. So that's what when we started as evolving ancestors. So they did the same. So there was no so much of food during that time, hunters and gatherers. So we go 5,000, 6,000 years back. So just they used to hunt and they used to eat some fruits and something which available in the forest. So I'm going to that behind and thinking that so during that time there was nothing. To be frank, there is zero illness. Their average lifespan also so long, and diabetes, hypertension, thyroidism. So they are not appearing that much. For now, it has evolved so much. The industry also evolved so much, and there is lot of information available. You can just log in into Instagram, scroll 3 to 4. So I might say that eat according to your hunger. Another person would say like no, you should eat for every 2 hours. So lot
It's
of confusion for
it's
people
not
out there, but
it's not one size fit all kind of a thing. One should eat as per
yeah.
their right.
Yes,
Um,
I have clients who I suggest to fast also,
yeah,
and for them who are healthy individuals, so
yeah,
they can do this. I have a client who we can fast up to 24 hours also. For them, it is suiting. For someone who has diabetes, I can't tell them fast for 24 hours. They need to eat three
right.
times for every 2 hours or 3 years like that, or else they'll get into
Yeah,
hypoinsulinemia, right? So that's the problem. It differs again for everyone, so their sugar levels drop so drastically.
right.
It changes for each and every individuals. Since I have worked with on one-to-one basis, not on the group thing, I prefer I stay in the all other aspect. I need to see what works for you
Yeah,
and what doesn't work for you.
yeah,
But
yeah,
on general, who are healthy, they can play around it. Like they can try, they can fast one day, the
yeah,
other day they can eat. But my philosophy, what I followed is I do fasting. I believe in fasting because that gives lot of time for our digestive system to recover and
mm-hmm.
then eat. So yesterday I also trashed with my entire diet. Like I went outside, so with my grandma house. So there I had some sweets. Like it's kind of a roti in that way. It's a family pressure. I did that. So today I entire day I fasted. I had my first meal around 4. So
Okay,
those kind of adjustment I make for
yeah,
myself. The same way I suggest to my clients also. Take care of their day to day, and I stay connected, and
yeah,
so they will be on it.
yeah. So you help them compensate for the days that they have cheated, right?
Yeah, might be like that. Like they
Yeah,
also need to enjoy
they,
social
that's
gatherings.
very important.
There is a strategy.
When I was practicing as a nutritionist, I remember I used to tell
Hmm.
my clients to specifically cheat once or twice in a week so that the body
Hmm.
also remembers to metabolize that sort of a food, right? If you
Yeah.
start, I've seen for a lot of people when they start eating home cooked food 100% of the times, one day
Hmm.
if they go out for a dinner or a marriage, they'll fall sick. I think the body, the gut also has a brain of its own, and it forgets how to
Yeah.
metabolize. And actually, do you think people sometimes confuse thirst for hunger?
Yes. 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 That
Does it
happens
happen
with
in your
many of
clients?
us. Yeah, yeah. They are not drinking. Like even I can't say that enough water
Yeah.
because your body knows how much water you need. So when you feel thirsty, you will drink water. And more of them, they need to consider electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and calcium, magnesium
Yeah.
mixture. So there are two ways. The natural way is just you can add some salt and lime water and
Mhm.
just have it in a glass like
Yeah.
this, so you will feel enough. Many times you are dehydrated, not
Yeah.
hungry enough.
Yeah.
So they need to consider that even they are not feeling hungry, but they'll say, okay, I felt hungry, I need to eat something.
Yeah.
So during that time, if they just drink some water or some electrolytes, they are good. They don't need that much amount of food.
Right. Right. Uh, would you say that, okay, so my ideology that I follow with myself is, how I test that I'm thirsty and not hungry is I ask myself if I want to have an apple. If the answer is
Okay.
yes, I think I'm hungry. But when the answer is no, I feel I'm thirsty.
Okay. Okay. That
Yeah.
differs. That differs again.
Because
Yeah.
apple
Yeah.
is something that you don't want to eat when you are thirsty. Like, you just know that it is too satiating. It's too
Mm.
fulfilling. So I don't know
Okay.
if that's a right way to measure that. But for some,
No, it differs.
it works. Yeah.
Yeah, you might feel that is comfortable, but you internally know that, like that hunger sensation na? So for someone who is frequently eating meals and meals
Yeah.
after meals,
Yeah.
so they won't feel that hunger sensation. They might running behind time to time meals. So time to time meals are fine, but you can wait up to, like, I'm not speaking about any someone taking medications. So for them, they need to eat as per the time slots because they have some conditions. For an healthy individual, I would suggest that wait till you feel hunger. For someone on morning meal, they might feel hunger or they don't feel hunger. Still, they will have something for breakfast. That means they need to eat something. I personally believe that if you want to eat your first meal, you need to get some really good work done.
Okay.
So you deserve to have a meal. So that mindset I have built for myself. And I keep saying it, like if you feel hunger and you wanted to have a meal, go do it. Initially in the starting of your day, you have enough energy to get more work done.
So on that note,
Hmm.
I come from a family where, okay, my family is like, they would just sit, they'll wake up at 7 and 8 o'clock the
Hmm.
breakfast is on the table, even if they're not
Hmm.
hungry. Is
Yeah,
that the right thing
yeah,
to do
yeah.
or not?
Actually, to be frank, it's not like see, are you feeling really hunger?
Yeah.
Are you getting hunger sensation within you? You can go have your meal, so that's totally fine. And what you're eating again, it matters. So initially, when I speak about down south, this side, south side, so there is always a rice-based meals or idli, vada, dosa, like this pongal or different meals, which is high in carbs again at the starting of your day itself. That literally makes you feel again lethargic. So you go on drowsy mode and something like that to do the work. So I believe that your first meal should be nutritious and it has to be high in protein and fats so that it gives you enough energy to perform much better for another 3 to 4 hours. Imagine that you would be super productive for first 6 hours of your day, then think what impact you can create. Most of the days I'm not eating in the first. It has been a practice. See, I have, before I started studying about nutrition, so on I have experimented many things. I have been at 86 kgs. So during that time, I discovered intermittent fasting and just on the go I did that. It's just a time restricted eating pattern, right? So I don't know any idea of macros and anything during that time, but I still did it. It gave me good results, and then I kept on studying and studying. It worked very well for me. For someone, it might not be, but it's a good practice to see. Are you really hungry? Ask one question before your
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
meal, like just, are you really hungry? You want to eat a meal? Just go for it. Some days I do very good intense workout in the morning itself. Then definitely you need a meal. Like you will feel hungry, have your meal. You're not feeling it, that's totally fine to skip and eat in the afternoon or when you feel hunger.
Okay. 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 And I had a question in the DMs today. This person
Hmm.
wanted to know that she's high in uric acid. So she
Hmm.
says that she's been asked by the doctor to completely get rid of protein.
Hmm.
And she's somebody who's not eating a lot of meat and non-veg, but still high in
Got it.
uric acid. How would you
Got it.
suggest her to treat that?
Well, first of all, the uric acid is a waste product which is created inside our body, right? So when it digest kind of breakdowns chemicals from your food and drinks, that's the uric acid. Usually it pass out of your body, it dissolves in your kidneys and it pass out through urine. If it stays inside your body, then it causes a small kind of crystals and that crystals in middle of your joints, it causes gout. That is more painful when it stays inside your body.
Yeah.
And the other thing is it again causes kidney stones as well. So when it stays inside your body, so that happens, but we can't alone blame protein directly.
For that.
So you only told that she is not eating meat or any other some. Still, she got uric acid, high uric acid. It might be a consumption of more fructose, sugary fruits for a overall long period of time.
Okay.
So in liver disease also we have alcoholic fatty liver and non-alcoholic fatty liver. Those who are not at all drinking, still they got fatty liver because of more fat has been accumulated in their liver. That might be their different lifestyle habits. They might eating more sugary foods, and I have seen that there are many fruits which is high in sugar. So high GI fruits like so they also might cause this problem, and we need to see what's going apart from that. Purine, we need to drop their purine foods, purine in their foods.
Got it.
So she can actually try with see what she is going entirely throughout the day. What are the meals she is taking, and we can't blame alone protein. So she can remove the foods which is not needed, which is high in purine, and low purine food she can include, and she can add more veggies. And the other good part is her vitamin C levels. C vitamin can be increased. Citrus fruits can be added.
Oh.
So these things would help, like amla or lime in that way for uric acid. The best advice which I could give, so I'm not that right person to tackle uric acid because I have some knowledge about it. But I would openly say that health professionals can help more on
You're not
this, like doctors,
completely
direct to doctor.
therapeutic. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Got
I
it.
can give some
Basic
like this
advice.
kind of knowledge-based advices, but the moreover when it comes to pathologies or this stuff, so doctors can handle much better because it become a medical condition.
But I already agree with you when you say that it is not just the protein problem, it's actually high sugar. And that sugar could be actually in the form of sugar or fructose, because people do rely a lot on fruits because they want to lose weight. And on that note, there are so many women out there who say मैं तो कुछ खाती नहीं हूँ, फिर भी weight बढ़ता जा रहा है. They're not eating anything.
That's
how to tackle that.
That happens because of their hormonal. See, when I talk about females, right, I have again starting itself. There is a huge respect for females because they go through a lot throughout their lifespan. So initially up till 7, now I need to discuss about earlier days, like they used to get the puberty late, like 14, 15, 16 years. Now it's reduced to 7 and 8. So pre-puberty, because of amount of foods they are giving to their kids. So all sugary stuffs, bun, bread, jam, everything. It's again cycle of you know that corporate things running behind each and everything, right? So they are feeding that so that they can get, and it's again a business to be frank. So they go through puberty initially, and then menstruation, and that comes again and again and again, and then pregnancy, and then menopause. So there is lot going through their entire overall lifespan. But why they might gain weight even though they are not eating, they are not eating enough what they needed. So hormonal imbalance ho jata hai zyada. So they need to focus on right nutrients, and I would highly suggest to start an activity. So give 30 minutes, do anything. So at least if someone is not doing anything, they can at least start with walking or just go out, do some kind of exercises. And when they build upon it, when they move enough, they would try to eat right food. So that is again vice versa. Like I want to them to go out, exercise, or they can do it more on indoors and do many body weight exercises. That is good enough to get started with. Then they can build upon it. And for them, I can highly suggest start exercising, even though they are not eating, still gaining weight. Start movement, then see there would be a change, and they will eat right food. I want them to add more first class protein foods. So that means any foods which comes from animal sources, it's considered as a first class, which has all 9 essential amino acids.
Okay.
And its bioavailability is 90% ke upar hai.
Okay.
So 99%. It absorbs in our body much better. So that is first class protein sources.
Got it.
And that's how it goes. For vegetarians, you might have that question as well. Like
Yeah.
for vegetarians, the protein sources apart from paneer, like I would always go to paneer directly for a protein source in vegetarian.
Yeah.
Because it has, again, it comes from the dairy, right?
Right.
So it has high amount of good fats combined with protein.
Right.
That's how it is. I want to add them more protein, and also I suggest, if they are okay,
Yeah.
if they don't have any concern for vegetarians, they can add eggs,
Eggs.
in
Right.
your diet.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. And when you say that those women need to have some movement in a day, so what is your take on cardio? Do you think cardio is also important for fat loss?
Either, if we want to see, yes, it is important, but I would highly suggest do cardio for improving your heart and lungs health.
Okay.
So its main purpose of cardio is improving your heart and lungs endurance.
Okay.
So apart that, fat loss which you get is just a byproduct.
Oh.
And there are 5 components in fitness. I could explain that. That would be very helpful for our audience over here. So the first one is cardio respiratory endurance. That means it says that if you want to be fit, you need to do work on all these 5 components of fitness. In that, first one is cardiorespiratory endurance, which says cardio is your heart and respiratory is your lungs, and iska endurance and capacity. The best example, whenever you try to climb the stairs, you might get fatigued a bit more faster, like high heart rate, and then you stop. Or when you want to catch something, you run, you couldn't run. So you should do cardio to improve that activity.
Got it.
That's the purpose of doing cardio. And second one is muscular strength, endurance, sorry, muscular endurance. That means doing same kind of exercise repeatedly for a long period of time.
Okay.
And I would give a best example for a mother. She would carry her baby like this for a long period and who complain karte like I get pain here. Yeah. That's a muscular endurance. If you have enough strength and endurance, you can hold the baby for long hours. And carrying bags for long hours and walking for long time of like hill climbing repeatedly for 40-50 minutes. I have clients, so we try to improve their endurance so that they can go for a hikes for 2 hours, 3 hours, like that.
Right.
That's the second component. So if you do cardio, first and second component would be covered. So that should be your goal of doing cardio, not the fat loss. I'll come to fat loss. The third one is musculoskeletal strength. We have muscles above our skeleton. To improve that, you need to do strength training, lift resistance. It's not only about weight. You can do body weight exercises, some resistant band movements.
Okay.
So that they get enough resistance to perform much better, right? So they put that external weight so that there is a growth in their muscles. That's the third component. Okay. And the fourth component is flexibility. It's for your muscles to recover, and it's very important to recover, right? So by the end of the sessions in our classes, I suggest to do more stretching that helps them to prevent from injuries as well. There should not be a stiffness in their muscles. Yes. And the last one is the answer for everything. It's your ideal body composition. So if you do all these 4 components which I told on daily basis, the fifth one is a byproduct. Like you would get that fat loss factor in.
Okay. Okay.
And I would add the extra add-on, that is eating right food.
Right. Right.
Worrying more about protein and adding more fats, good fats into your diet. And this is whole package. So of components of fitness. So when they work, they will get all this. But cardio, my take on, yes, you definitely need to do cardio, not on the perspective of fat loss, on improving your heart and lungs health.
Okay. And as you said, fat loss is a byproduct.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. If you eat right, like fat, see, exercises is for, it's not for fat loss. It's for your longevity. You add more weight and you gain more muscle mass. And your fat loss happens with what you put inside your body. Like it's about all about nutrition, fat loss. But movement helps.
Yeah. Got it. And what's your take on yoga versus strength training?
Definitely. So it's totally different.
Yeah.
So yoga is completely a different activity, and strength training is completely different activity. So I can't give up on both. I support both. Definitely, you need
Okay.
yoga for good flexibility,
Yeah.
and it works on your mindfulness as well. But I never tried it. I do some stretching, but I
Yeah.
have many friends who does yoga as well. So yoga gives them a peace of mind, and they can
Yeah.
do it for hours, like 40-50 minutes weekly, 2 times in that way.
Mm.
And it builds endurance, and it's good for flexibility, and it keeps you with spiritual aspect also, it helps. So you can definitely add yoga, that also comes into a good
But
fitness
can yoga
routine.
replace strength training?
No, no, no,
No.
it can't. That is totally different. You
Okay.
can see, strength training is totally different. Yoga is completely different. Both has its own different individuality, but I would prefer strength training. But you can keep yoga also inside your regime to improve your flexibility and endurance to be more agile in nature. Yeah.
Akshay, I think you put a lot of focus on blood tests. So I want to ask you about
Mhm.
that. But before that, I want to ask you, how did you enter this field of being a strength coach for women? I
Mhm.
also see that you work with your mother very closely, how she's lifting weights and how she's improving her health when with you being around, even your sister for that matter. So how did
Yeah,
you
yeah.
come, into this field? What is your personal story behind that?
Wow, this is great question. First one, how I came into in fitness. So it started with me, and I was 86 kgs. I remember 87 something. And during that time, I wanted a change. It was in college, so I told that I was an engineer,
Mm-hmm.
and I was studying in college, and I wanted to change myself. And I went through there would be a culturals in our colleges and everything, and there was a fashion show, it's happening. I decided in the last year that I want to win this next year. It's just a thought, and then I told that if I want to win, I follow more of David Goggins content during very long time. I need to put in the work. Like I was so fat, and like this on the stage I can't win, right? I need to change. So I went into a very strict workout regime and exercises, running, eating, not eating, everything. I did everything. From 86 I dropped to 60, and in 1 year it was complete fat loss and muscle loss, everything happened, but I was lean. Then I won that show, and that gave me a great confidence. And from there, after completing the engineering and stuff, I was working, and I thought that within 2 months I got to know that okay, I can't do this for rest of my life. Okay, it's a different thing, but many of them was enjoying it. I got a job, and I was literally not happy. like it's like kind of a depressive stage.
Yeah.
Then I was searching for education in fitness. I asked myself what I know, how I can help anyone, like make a living out of it, other job like that. So I found an education institute. I'm really grateful for them, like K11 fitness schools. I studied there, diploma in personal training initially, and there was a stage where I wanted to move to Pune to complete that course. They give
Mm-hmm.
a intense 2 months of practical classes where they teach each and every exercises for 3 hours, so that we learn that form and technique on very right way. There everything changed, like okay, wow, exercises. So there is so much to learn on this exercises and performing that. There was a situation I need to quit my job and then I should go, or else I asked the leave. They didn't give. In the office I told okay, I'll quit, and I quitted it. I wanted to take a risk, and from there I completed it, and then it's all started. Eventually when I started training people, I got more of female clients initially.
Okay. Okay.
So I got into it, and I understood why they needed much more, and that gap that
Yeah.
females has couldn't hit the gym
Yeah.
regularly. So if they do body weight exercises in home with a very minimal equipment, that good enough. I have one of my clients, she is super dedicated. We started with just a body weight. Now she was lifting 22 kgs. I posted a recent story. So that each win of my clients, small wins, that motivated me. So I thought that I can help many more out there. So that's why it everything formed.
That's a
And
great.
when it comes to my mom and my sister is doing great. Like she's aware of those things, but she's not completely into it. And my mom, she had a diabetic,
Okay.
and I have suggested that eat this way, eat that way. And recently on November, I think we ran a blood test. She had HbA1c of 10,
Okay.
10.7.
Okay.
So now we did a recent blood test, and she had a 7. So she dropped a 3.
That's
3. The doctor also got impressed, but there are other few things running. Recently, she fell ill. She's not feeling good now, but she will get back.
she will.
So that's going on.
Yes.
That's the motive, because mothers, they won't take care of themselves no
That.
matter what. They are worried always about family, kids, and everything. That's why I wanted to do some kind of activity. When I get a chance, take her to the sports complex
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
do some running or do some body weight exercises. It might help. So
That's
like
great.
that.
Great. No, you're doing a
Yes.
great job with her and all the other women out there. Akshay, what are the important blood tests that you would suggest for every woman or even men for
Mhm.
that matter to run on a
Hmm.
regular basis, and how regular should that be?
Yes, so I stress more on this because in my life also I experienced many sad situations just for not checking it and taking care seriously on it. When it comes to a blood test, number one, for I have actually a list, so long list.
Mm-hmm.
So the main thing I can list out here. So first one is complete blood count and fasting glucose,
Okay.
and then they can give a post-eating glucose, like random glucose test is also fine. HbA1c test to know their past 90 days of blood glucose levels, and
Okay.
then liver functioning test, kidney functioning test to understand how both are doing, and then lipid profiles for sure to understand their cholesterols, HDL, LDL, those things. And apart from that, for females, estrogen levels, progesterone levels,
Oh,
FSH,
okay.
follicular stimulating hormone, and
For all
LH.
ages,
That's into more. Sorry.
they should get this tested at all like ages. Like, is it just for women of higher ages, which is 30, 40 plus, or even for a 25-year-old? Would you suggest that?
So to see where they might be completely healthy
Yeah.
also. But if they are open to get that everything test, so they can go for it.
Okay.
It's absolutely fine to know their hormone profile, so how they are, but not compulsory.
Yeah.
But there are few things which we can worry. I talk to individual, right? I get to know what tests they might need. Most of my clients are in US, or they are getting blood test is bit hard. When they come to India, I would suggest go do all this tests,
Yeah.
so you can get your entire profile like that. And for females, that is an option. And so like it's in an year, if you do once to know where you are, like
Yeah.
hormonal test and their pelvis and abdomen scan, so that helps to know there is there any discomfort in their uterus or over the endometrius, like that. So there is different aspects of it, to just general checkup. So but a doctor should suggest that. On a healthy note, if you want to know how your body is functioning, so I would suggest all these tests. And that's it. Vitamin D and B12 is what the major blood test which I recommend, because that is lacking a lot. I see that vitamin D is too low, and also I want to say that by sun you won't get vitamin D
Yeah. Yeah.
directly. If you want to get vitamin D from sun, you need to be completely exposed to the sun. That is not possible,
Yeah.
like how it is. So taking good supplements, knowing your value, and
Mm-hmm.
supplementing it is the best way to get your good enough vitamin D
Mm-hmm.
and B12 also. Same goes to men's also. But on men's, currently I went through a workshop about men's health and everything. So I learned that we need to test testosterone levels
Mm-hmm.
to see where they are. Like there is a huge surge of testosterone levels in men's, because of men's are becoming more weak.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad to say, but it's happening.
Yeah.
Like everyone carrying more fat percentage in men's. and not exercising and becoming more estrogenic in nature. That means female dominant hormone is overtaking in male hormones, so they become more fat storage. So
Yeah,
testosterone levels, and I work improving on that testosterone levels in males.
got it.
Like we need to test testosterone levels.
Do you also think that having a lot of chicken can add to a lot of estrogen in men? Because
No.
chicken, I personally, I just feel that there's a lot of chicken out there which is being injected with estrogen so that they get healthy and plump before their certain age.
Hmm.
And when one eats that chicken, they take a part of that added injected estrogen into their body, and that actually messes with, I believe, both the men and the women hormones.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, it's not alone. I can say like chicken. People are not eating regularly. So
right,
even I eat more lot of chicken. The same chicken which you say from the
yeah,
shop. There is no other
yeah,
option. We need to get a country chicken. It's not available all the time. Weekly once I can fetch them out.
yeah,
But it's not that only thing,
okay,
right? Estrogenic in nature, we know that they are doing some kind of chemicals to chickens
yeah,
to grow them in a short period of time. Let's say 40 days. I asked that butcher, so he told they will grow it in 45 days. I got shocked. Okay, 45 days.
mm,
And there is other type of chicken, they keep it for 90 days and then they cut them. So it differs. So it's not the alone, it won't impact to that much. So
okay,
the
okay,
what impacts is they are not doing anything. It's not only from consuming chicken they are more estrogenic in nature. They are not into exercising, and they are not into healthy habits, and they are
yeah.
into more smoking, alcohol consumption. So all this adds up.
Just chicken alone in high in estrogen is not going to impact if they have a healthy lifestyle. They're working out,
Yes,
right? That's
because
interesting.
I the example, I have been eating chicken all
Yeah,
three
yeah.
years
I
since
got
that. uh, Lifestyle habits, so I see on regular basis, even though they know that it's not good, so they keep consuming that sweet things, soft drinks, many soft
yeah,
drinks. I don't want to take name, but
yeah,
there is an example. One of my friend,
yeah.
he is also totally fine. He used to eat always same food, and I told him so many times like don't do this, but it should come within them, right? So
Yeah,
it happens
got it.
once they
Got it.
aware of it.
Right. And which was the test that you just mentioned at the, the initial part of the life where we can get our muscle and our fat uh, measured or
Yeah,
tested, whatever that is.
DEXA scan,
Texas scan. Is
DEXA.
it available in all the labs?
Yes, yes, you can just Google DEXA scan nearby me, and you get it. It's like same like a CT scan where you go inside it and you get to understand all your muscle density, how much at where it is proportionated. So those details, minute details, that is the best one to compare your results also. For example, you are going all in into strength training to gain good muscle mass and see your fat percentage decreasing. So you can do that test now, and after 3 months or 4 months down the line, you can do that test again and see the changes. Just you can Google it. You will get it nearby. For me, it is in Bangalore. I need to travel to there. For you, it would be easily
Right.
nearby your
How
vicinity.
do you spell that?
DEXA,
DEXA. Okay, DEXA scan.
DEXA
Okay.
scan.
Okay. Okay. And do you also take consultations if somebody just wants to understand their body composition, or is it just the kind of coaching? Like, do you take consultations as well if somebody just wants to come for consultation, or is it just coaching? How is it if somebody wants to
Yeah,
reach out to you for that?
I, I do both. If they need only my guidance, like consultation, they have some doubts and everything. So I do consultation like 1 hour. It goes more than that.
Okay.
Apart from that, I do have programs for different people. Like for someone who's good at exercising and everything, they know exercises to do, but they don't know what exercises to do and how frequently they need to do what they need eat. So for them, consultation would work, and I have one-to-one coaching program as well to start with, and it depends on individuals. There are 5 weeks coaching program where I take them. It's completely changing their habits and lifestyle and putting them in the right track in 5 weeks. If someone who is completely not into exercising and eating right, so in this 5 week I make them that consistency.
Yeah.
I'll bring that consistency, and we do one-to-one coaching sessions, like personal training sessions,
Yeah. Yeah.
where I teach exercises and give them nutrition plan and keep them accountable through WhatsApp, and I keep in touch with them on daily basis to just asking me pictures and everything, so that in 5 weeks they would be in such a state that they can learn most of it and they can
Yeah.
practice on their
Yeah.
own, or else if they need our help more for a long
Got it.
term, so we have a 100 days program as well. That's the long one, and 6 months as well on the retainer basis.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
like handhold support.
Yeah. 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 I think you sign up every 3 months. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All
So
right.
3 months, as well as the most common one is 5 weeks to get started with. So they'll get to
Okay.
understand how it entirely works. Then I give them an opportunity if they wanted me to guide them for, because see, transformation takes time.
Yeah.
I have a client who are doing with me more than a year now. So we started exactly 1 year ago. So the same client, I'm grateful for them, as well as super happy they are getting good
Yeah.
results. They stick with me for so long. I have 6 months, 8 months clients as well. They are seeing that changes. Transformation happens over a period of time if they are
Yes.
consistent. So I
Yes.
hold them consistent throughout the journey. So it's win-win for both of us.
Yes. 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 Okay. Okay, Akshay, I think we'll have to wind up because we have already touched almost 50 minutes mark. It was a
Sure.
very insightful live that I had with you. I think we still have a lot of questions left which have been untouched, but we need to go as we need to go. We'll stay
Sure.
connected. And for all the people who have any questions regarding fitness, please reach out to Akshay on his profile. And you can also reach out to me just in case, right? And I hope to catch up with you very soon. Thank you for coming over, Akshay. Thank you so much. It was outstanding.
Yes.
And
Thank
keep
you so
helping.
much for inviting me, and it's been I never did this. This is the first time Insta
Oh,
live like this professionally speaking with the other person outside there. It's really great experience. Thank you so much. It's been a good time. Like I shared whatever I got to know what I was doing.
yeah.
Thank you so much, and all the best for more episodes. I have watched yesterday's episode. It was really great. Keep doing it, and all the
Thank
best.
you.
Yeah.
No, no, I hope to catch up with you super soon on the live again. Yeah, we'll come up
Sure,
with
sure. We'll do it.
some other topic related to fitness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
And
course,
something
yes. Thank
it's a
you.
very informative talk. Thank you so much, both of you. Thank you so much for all of all the people who have joined us today, even if it was for a short while. It really means a lot. Thank you so much. All right, bye,
Thank you.
Akshay.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank you
much.
so much. Bye.
Take
Bye.
care. Good night. Bye.
Take care. Yes.